Good morning. Hey, good morning, our Asphalt Life community and all of our Atlas contractors. Excited to have you guys on this wonderful Wednesday, WW, or our Wednesday webinar, whichever way feels better. WW, Wednesday webinar, whichever way. Glad you guys are on today. And we're talking today about some exciting things. I have one of my favorite people in the roofing industry on with CompanyCam. Let's say good morning to Michael Gogan. Hey, good morning, Gogan.
Morning, Tiara. Thanks for having me.
Of course, excited to have you on today to talk about helping contractors really win in their approach and how CompanyCam can really help with that. I know that we have a joint, we've been partners for going on a couple years now. And, we between the CompanyCam tours that you guys do, the talk about it that you guys do. What other virtual or actual events do you all do throughout the year? I know you guys are involved in a lot.
Yeah, so we're in all the verticals. So obviously we love the Highway to Hail tour that we do in conjunction with you guys in Beacon. We do the Talk About It. We've got a new podcast out called the Company Cast. We
Fun.
do we've got all sorts of stuff going right now. We do our own webinars. We don't always do ours on Wednesday, but we like Wednesdays as well. So good choice
Yeah.
of webinar Wednesday. We do a lot of them on Wednesdays also.
Wednesday's a good day. It's like right in the middle of the week, while you're still kind of fresh. It's not Friday and it's not Monday. So Wednesday works.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know that we have a lot of events coming up going into, the rest of the year, but can talk a little bit about the Talk About It that you guys have launched. I know Stan Bastek, who's our new Vice President of Sales and Marketing, is actually was on the launch of the original the first Talk About It for the season.
Yeah. So we're now on season 3, and we had Stan on last week,
Yeah.
uh, and it's it's been an awesome thing to see kind of grow. It was one of those things where uh, just have a lot of good industry friends, and so at first it was just a way to get our industry friends on and talk about what they're doing and how things are going in their world.
Mhm.
And in season 3, we decided to go with advice that uh, our vendor partners would give to contractors. So we're talking the top 10 pieces of advice. We've got 10 guests on, and not just talking like, hey, buy our product, or obviously, Scotchgard shingles are the way to go. We know that, but we wanted to talk and dive a little bit deeper into, what we have learned from the contractors that are winning out there. So I'm super excited. We're 2 episodes in, but they've been awesome episodes so far. So 8
Yeah.
left, and we've got a good thing going with McClinney Mosley and Associates. They decided they would donate $30 per taco that I eat this season,
I
and
love it.
company came decided to match that. So every taco that I eat while we're on camera is worth $60 to local charity. So
That's
kind of a fun
awesome.
little thing as well.
Well, it gets you eating more, which is always nice to be able to eat on camera with tacos, which
Yeah.
are some of my favorite. And then also it's going to a great cause. And if you haven't checked out Company Cam's Facebook or their Instagram, I'm going to put that up in the chat here so that you guys can check them out. But they are doing a lot of really cool stuff, and just the innovation around the concept of um, making the process of streamlining data so much easier. You guys took that concept and have really just blown it out of the water. So excited to have you kick off today's weekly webinar. Say that
So,
fast 10 times.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a mouthful. All
Yeah,
right, well, let's go. You want me to go ahead and jump right into it then,
jump
Tiara?
right in. Absolutely.
All right, here we go. So today we're going to talk winning with documentation and communication. Um, this slide deck's one that I don't think anyone's actually seen this one. So we're going to debut it on the weekly Wednesday webinar. And we'll go quick overview of what Company Cam is, We'll talk about winning in terms of the sales, the marketing, the things that you're doing out in the field. And then we'll talk about how CompanyCam can add to that winning. If you've got some good processes in place, CompanyCam is a great thing. Whether you're already using it or not, it's just such a great tool. And then obviously some questions if you have them at the end. I always like to just start quick of who am I. Today's kind of an interesting one. So obviously you can see I'm a father and a husband, and there's my lovely family. I'm actually in the car driving. We're gonna go celebrate that little guy in the Mickey shirts. 5th birthday today, so I'm in the car
That's
doing this
awesome.
one. I was a former teacher, high school athletic director, coach, um, and then I transitioned into CompanyCam. So I've kind of got a unique perspective on the industry, and I honestly think the best thing I have going for me as far as perspective goes is that I'm a homeowner. I've never been a contractor. I'm a homeowner, and so I kind of look at things through that lens. And so a lot of what I'm going to talk about today will be from that homeowner perspective. So CompanyCam, if you're not familiar with it, if you are familiar with it and you're using it, awesome. We love you. I'm going to have some great stuff for you. But if you're not familiar with it, it's a documentation and communication tool. We were born out of the roofing space in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we were created to help get people in the field on the same page with the office. So with that, we're a real-time solution. So there's no need to upload or send or attach any of the photos, videos, notes that you're taking in the field. CompanyCam handles all of that in real time. And I love to say that we are a CYA solution. So we're going to help you cover your backside from the time you step foot on property till the time you leave, um, showing exactly what's going on. So here it is, just a high level. Like I said, it was created to get everybody on the same page. The office, the foreman, your clients. We'll talk about all of these things, but we were created to really streamline that process and make sure that everything was in real time. If you're new to CompanyCam, you aren't familiar with it, this is just a quick look at the app. It's a mobile app as well as a web app. Like I said, everything is going to be in real time. So it's going to be automatically loaded by address. So it uses GPS in your device. As soon as you've captured that photo, video, note, annotation, it's in the cloud and everybody has access to it. There's no need to, again, send, attach, upload, do any of those things. And you can see obviously who took the photo and when they took it, or video, or whatever they're doing. So just a really great tool to keep everybody on the same page and rolling. So what I wanted to really cover today was winning. Let's talk ways to win. And again, I'm not an expert at this. These are things that I've talked to contractors and I've said, hey, how did you get so good at doing this or that? And so I've just acquired different tips and tricks. And so those are the things I'm going to share today. I'm going to talk sales, production, completion, collection, and marketing. So kind of take you through that whole gamut of the process. So we'll talk sales first. What to know, people make super quick judgments. They probably got, unless you're door knocking and you catch them off guard, they've probably already made a judgment before you even arrive on property. But just know that when you do arrive on property that first time, they're going to make quick judgments. They're going to make quick decisions. Um, Believe it or not, guys, they aren't. Nobody's waking up in the morning saying, "Man, I want some new BFD 42s on my roof. I'm tired of the roof I have. I'm gonna go find a roofer." People wake up in the morning and they want security and comfort and make sure their house is protected. The roof may be what they need, but at the end of the day, they're not just wanting a new roof. So keep that in mind. They're going to shop around. It's inevitable, whether you think they will or not. They're going to look online. They're going to do things like that. And they want to know the why. They want to know why they need ice and water, or they want to know why they need these things. So the more you can educate, the better. And we'll talk about that. I love this slide. Communication equals sales. First one there, perfect. Shut up and listen. Whether you're showing up for a scheduled appointment or it's one of those things where you're door knocking. Obviously, if you're door knocking, you got to get your intro out, but then step back and truly listen. See what their concerns are, what needs they have. It's only going to help make the sale easier. And in my opinion, you're going to be able to upsell a lot easier if you know exactly what hesitations and needs that homeowner has. I think that painting the picture is very important. Obviously, if there's a problem, you need to paint the picture, paint the possible problems. If you're getting up on a roof and you don't know what's up there, paint all the different scenarios for them. Hey, we might get up there and there's nothing wrong. We might get up there and it's totaled, and kind of give them some ideas of what to expect when you get up there. And then whether you do this before or after you get on the roof, educate on the solution, help them understand what exactly they needs to go in to fix their problem. So really educate, hold their hand through the process. I know it's kind of a new thing, but homeowners will appreciate that. And then all of those things kind of work to create a level of transparency in your work.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you hit it on the head with the shut up and listen, right? It's like I was looking on LinkedIn yesterday and somebody put up a post that said, from a sales perspective, what's the biggest thing you can do to, connect with your customer? And the first comment was talk less, right?
Yeah,
Which,
absolutely.
yeah, it just speaks to, the more we can understand um, what that customer is saying, the more you can help to service their need, instead of always talking.
No, 100%. So like I've got this slide here on the shut up and listen. The client's going to tell you their concerns. They're going to tell you what concerns they have. They might be completely not roof related. They may tell you that, man, I know I need to get my roof done. They might be sold on that, but maybe their concern is, how on earth am I going to pay for this thing? And,
Mm,
obviously, I know Atlas is big on financing. CompanyCam has some great financing partnerships. You might know that if you come in and start doing all the talking, and instead of them saying, hey, I just can't afford this, they may say, they're going to say, I'm going to get a couple of their quotes. And so if you give them the floor and they say, I know I need this roof, I just don't know, like, how much is it going to be? They're going to
yeah,
tell you their concerns, and then you can address those concerns, ask questions obviously as needed, but they're going to fill you with all the ammo you need. And oftentimes, like I said, this is the best way to upsell. Is maybe their siding is fine and it doesn't need replaced, or same thing with their windows or whatever, but they may mention, I know my roof needs done, but I really don't love my siding either. Maybe it's brand new and perfectly fine, um, but perfect opportunity. Well, we can get that taken care of for you as well. So shut up and listen. They're going to fill you with ammo. When I talked about painting the picture, CompanyCam, and I'll dive deeper into this as well, but CompanyCam does a great job of helping you paint the picture, because we're a documentation tool that's run by photos and videos. So we've got three ways: report, gallery, and timeline. I'm going to talk timeline right now. I'll talk about the other two a little later. Um, Timeline is something that I did a very poor job selling pre-COVID. And when COVID came, I said, I've got to help my clients figure out a way to communicate with their clients in a virtual way. And I started thinking and digging, and I said, well, our timeline is perfect for that. And so timeline is links that you share to the homeowner. Mrs. Jones, I'm getting ready to jump up on the roof. Here's a link. You go ahead and sit on your couch, your porch, your patio, wherever. As I'm taking pictures and videos, you're going to see those as they come through. So like I mentioned earlier, hey, these are the possible pictures that we may paint when we get up on your roof. And then now you're going to go up on the roof and you're going to paint one of those pictures. So they have an idea of what to expect, and then they see it as you're painting it, and they see it come you know, whether there's damage or no damage. So that timeline, super easy to use and an extremely good way to communicate with your clients. Here's just a couple quotes from my clients on the timeline. This one is Jeremy Gilstrap. He's in the Georgia. I think he's in Atlanta maybe, but I know he's in Georgia. But I said, hey, I'm doing a presentation on the timeline. He says it's amazing to show real-time damage. Customers love it. And then my favorite one, this is Matt Danskin, who's out of Nashville. He works for Apex Restoration. And a homeowner said, Matt, you guys are animals. Thanks for putting those pictures out there. And that one just really floors me because, like I said, I'm a homeowner. Never once thought of calling one of my contractors an animal. But doing something so simple as sharing pictures, and they just love it. They love being in the know, seeing what's happening as it's happening. So this is just a little feedback on timeline. If you're using CompanyCam, make sure you're using that timeline while you're selling. Educate on the solution, and this can be done obviously before you get up on the roof. Educate on the possible solutions, and then when you're up there and you're using CompanyCam, mark those pictures up. Let them know this is what's going to go into fixing your roof. It may take a little bit more time, but it's going to really make closing that sale that much easier. Make sure they know, hey, this is what's going to go into the process. This is how long it's going to take. Perfect time to slip in there. Hey, we're going to take 10,000 nails off your roof. We're going to do the best we can to pick those nails up and not have any slip into the grass. But we're going to take 10,000 off. We're going to put 10,000 back on. Let them know what's involved with the job so that they have an understanding of what's going to go into fixing their roof. And then the final thing is creating transparency. I'm not a huge Verizon fan, but their unlimited, as long as it works in an unlimited fashion, is a great concept because it's easy to understand. And that's what your clients want. They want clear, they want easy, they want to know, hey, I'm paying $10,000 for these things. Make it easy to read. They're not experts in the roofing space. So if you share your Xactimate estimate with them or a complicated estimate that's got a whole bunch of line items, they're not going to have any clue what they're looking at. So make it really easy for them to understand, make it clear. And again, CompanyCam's a good tool for that. I'm going to shout out my friends at Sumo Quote. Sumo Quote integrates seamlessly with CompanyCam, and they have a great way to present these things to the homeowner as well. And documentation. So obviously what we just talked about was all communication, but documentation throughout your entire job is important, but it's very, very critical in the sales stage. Set and deliver expectations. You can't meet the homeowner's expectations if you don't set those expectations. So set the expectations, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, this is what you can expect of us, and then make sure you deliver on those things. No previous damage. Any damage to that property outside of why you're there has to get documented. I know it's probably a broken record, but I guarantee all of you that are on this call have paid for something at a property that your team or your crew did not damage. So make sure that it's ingrained in your sales process to document all of that damage. Document the build process, make sure you know what's going to go into that, and then any concerns or asks that may come up. And I always seem to hear, anytime I'm doing this live in an audience, I say, hey, how many of you have had a unique or an odd concern in rose bush or tree or you name it? Everybody's got that story. No easier way to put the client's mind at ease than to make a quick note and show, hey, look at this. I made this note in CompanyCam. It's going to let our crew know we're going to do everything to make sure that rose bush does not get any damage. We'll talk production quick. Obviously, continue to educate during the production stage. That education is vital throughout. I'm a big believer that the more you educate during the sales and production stage, the more you're going to create a referral source in that homeowner, making them know and almost feel like they're an expert. They're going to be willing to tell others about what went into their job. That's going to be great for you. Change orders, make sure you're documenting those. I'm going to show you how to do that really seamlessly in CompanyCam. Uh, Obviously, continue to communicate and remember the look of this job site. I think this one gets missed often. And what does my job site look like? If I was driving by in this neighborhood and I saw this job site, what's it look like? What am I seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a mess? Do I have a nice clean setup? I've got a catch-all. I've got a tent for my team. I've got it's branded. Branding is vitally important during the production stage. Making sure that it's clean, it's organized, and your brand is on there. So keep those things in mind during production. And obviously, having your production manager taking pictures is good. And then you can see those pictures from the office and say, hey, that's not what one of our job sites should look like, guys. Let's make sure that we get it looking the way we want it. All right, I said I would talk to you about change orders. So I'm going to talk change orders or anytime that your guys have to run to the hardware store during the build and get something. I'm going to bet that receipts don't get back to the office very regularly, and I'm guessing somebody in the office has a complaint about that they're not getting their receipts. CompanyCam makes that easy. Snap a picture in CompanyCam and use on the upper left corner here the tagging feature and tag those photos as receipt, change order. In the sales stage, any of that pre-existing damage should be tagged pre-existing damage so that you can easily filter and find, did we have any receipts? Did we have any change orders? Did we have any pre-existing damage on this particular job? Mentioning this is pretty easy. It's basically like a text message setup for your team, and it's built within CompanyCam. It gives you a notification just like you would get from a text message or Facebook mention, and now you have all your dialogue right there on the photo. And then finally, annotations. And I kind of talked about those in the sales stage. Mark photos up, make it easy for your production team to know what they're going into before they even get to the job, because they're going to have access to the same photos that your sales guys were taking. So just a really easy way to make sure that you're winning in the production stage. Completion collection, obviously this is an important thing. Again, back to that initial quote, make sure your invoice is very easy to read. Make sure that it's easy to understand. I got an invoice just yesterday from a landscaping company, and it looked like they were charging an astronomical amount for a couple items, when in reality they had put in a price per pound. And I was able to figure that out, but if you didn't understand and you didn't look at it carefully, you may think, hey, I'm getting overcharged for certain things. So make sure that it's easy to read that final invoice. Make sure you share some pictures, maybe a few more pictures. Now the CompanyCam's got video, share some video, get a completion testimonial from that client, but share those things, get those things out there, and really work to be their contractor. So get that final review. Make sure you get the review. I know Tiara's got some cool things coming, and CompanyCam and Atlas will kind of tease that here at the end of this. But get the review, and then make sure, hey, we are your contractor. If you don't need siding today, but it maybe has a few years left on it, make a project label in CompanyCam with the year 2024 siding, so that you have this database that you're building of potential future jobs on your past clients' properties. So using those project labels, and I'll show you that as well. But completion, communicate, and make sure you get that review. Here is that project labels. So I used Windows in this example, but if you're using CompanyCam, project labels are fairly new. And you can see
Yeah.
I can create a label for anything. And I love the fact that I can put 2023 Windows, and January 1, I can filter all my projects by 2023 label and see all of these jobs that I told Mr. Jones that he may need new windows in 2023. Well, let me give him a call and see how he's doing on his windows, see if he wants us to come look at them. Just a great way to keep everything organized. Because oftentimes you say, yeah, give me a call. And guys, the homeowners aren't remembering. They're not calling you. And if you say, I'll give you a call, unless recording that somewhere, you're not remembering, you're not calling, you're looking at the low hanging fruit. So this is just a good way to keep any of that information so that you can use it in the future.
Yeah.
Let's go marketing, and then we'll talk about CYA.
Yeah.
But marketing documents your work. Um, I love ads and different marketing things where you're showing actual work, showing your team actually out doing the job, on the roof doing the inspection. The real marketing, I think there's a ton of value in that. Um, Make sure that you're not only getting reviews, but you're communicating those reviews. Um, make make the good work that you do known. Don't like obviously any homeowner can go and dig and find reviews, uh, but get those reviews out in front of people. Use that as your marketing and stay in front of your past clients. So continue to market at them. You never know what their needs may be or how they've changed. So continue to market at your past clients. Um, I love this stat. 88% of people trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations, and that blows me away because everybody knows the power of personal recommendations. And as we get more and more in this digital age, these online reviews, they become the gospel. When we're on the road, TR, we pass on restaurants, and I'm sure we pass on really good restaurants because it has a 3.5 or a 3.8. Like, I
Yep.
don't know about that rating. And, you know, it's just, there's so much truth in these online reviews now. So making sure you're getting them up there and making sure that you've got reputable, good reviews is huge. Uh, CompanyCam, I want to talk the before and afters. Guys, if you're using CompanyCam and not making a before and after on every job, you're wasting a ton of good marketing gold.
Hmm.
Before and afters are extremely easy to make. They take seconds and they work. First time this was probably about 3 years ago. I was at a Chicago Roofing Association event, and before and afters just came out, and I said, I think these are pretty awesome. And I told the room, I said, guys, create one of these on every single job, post it to Facebook, thank your homeowner, and tag them. And so this is my buddy Will Bates and Central Roofing. They're just in the Chicagoland area. He did it. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, Michael, I did it. What do you think?" I gave him a couple little emojis in there, the hands and the fire. But I said, "Hey, Will, man, you forgot to mention the homeowners." So he does that there in the line. This thing, after 3 days is all. I took the screenshot after 3 days. Um, has 7 comments, 9 shares, and 157 likes, loves, amazements. Uh, awesome marketing material. I mean, if you guys are on your computer and you have your phone handy, pull up your Facebook page, see how many of your posts have that many interactions and that many shares. And this was a simple before and after. It didn't cost anything. Doesn't say that it's even sponsored. So he just threw that out on his actual page and got that much traction. So little things that you can be doing, just take advantage of those things. So if you're using CompanyCam, before and after every job. Winning with CompanyCam, I'm going to kind of breeze through this because I just want to talk about some features that match with those exact same things. Selling, make sure you have that documentation process. Make sure you create an awesome, make sure that you have consistent, clear communication. So that's on invoice. Make sure everything's easy, consistent, and clear. You know exactly what your team's telling to the homeowners. You know exactly what they're documenting. Everything's easy for the guys in the field and your clients. Timeline, there it is. That's what it looks like for the homeowner. We talked about that. I'm going to hammer it one more time. If you're not using the timeline on every sale or inspection, start doing it. Your clients will
Yeah.
love it, and it's going to close deals. Jeremy Gilstrap, who I used that quote earlier, he said, they went from getting off the roof and going over pictures, hoping to close deals, to using the timeline, getting off the roof, and almost having it to where the homeowner's like, all right, where do I sign? Like, I see it. It's there. And so that's just
Yeah.
huge. That's so
And
powerful.
also,
That you
Gogan, one of the things that you talk about, going into timeline, we actually had a couple of questions around that. So can you
yeah,
talk a little bit about the timeline feature and being able to actually send that from a live perspective? So I know that you start off by sharing a timeline link right from your CompanyCam tool, right?
yep, yep, yep. So I would so say I was coming to your house to do an inspection, Tiara. I would paint the possible scenarios, what we're going to see. I think that's a perfect segue into it and say, we're going to see one of X number of things up there, probably one of three things. No damage, tiny bit of damage, but it's not enough to do a re-roof, and a lot of damage. We got to get this thing re-roofed. I'm going to say those are the three things that we're looking at. Make it fit your job. I'm not a roofer. And I'm going to say, Tiara, here's a link. I'm going to text it over to you. Great way, if you don't already have their cell phone, to get their cell phone also, is I'm going to text this link over to you. And then what that link does is, as you take a picture on the roof, it automatically updates for that homeowner. So you're not having to send them to the timeline. You're not having to attach to the timeline. You're up there doing your normal inspection, taking your normal pictures, and they're getting them. So it's an automatic, it's live for the homeowner, that they're going to see them as you're taking them. And now that video's live and they go into the timeline, you can even take a quick video and show, yeah, these are wind crease shingles, and show that. Or it's really soft right here. I'm anticipating that there's going to be some rotted decking here. Whatever fits up there, but you can just really paint that full picture of, here's the damage to the homeowner in real time. So they can be seeing it. Everything will then be available for that homeowner. It's live. They have it. If you don't want it to continue on into production, you can turn that link off and they won't get any updates. If you want to keep it through production, which a lot of clients do, then they can see the production pictures as they're happening as well.
Right, and that is directly on the when you're in the app, it's gonna be under the, after they create the project, they can share the link right there, right?
Yep, yep, right there. They'll click on the share icon, and it'll say share. I believe it's a share timeline link. They would
Yep.
share that. They can share it via email, Facebook. If you've got a cool project going on, you can share a timeline link of, maybe you're doing a old church or something, just a cool, unique project. And it's going to take several days. You could share that out to Facebook and get an audience watching as you're going on doing that job. Like, lots of things you can do with this timeline. And what's
Mhm.
great about it is, you share it once and it's done. You don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, which is really cool from, like you said, a marketing perspective. I know a lot of people are on here trying to figure out how they leverage the CompanyCam app from marketing, and, not just walking through those processes that Gogan did a great job explaining, but now you actually have the ability to digitize your process. How many homeowners do you know that actually get up on a roof? None of them, hopefully, right? Are
Yeah, I was gonna say,
actually
yeah,
up on their roof.
you probably don't even want them getting up. Like, you for sure don't
Exactly.
want them up there with you there. But even
Right.
if I got up on my roof, I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm looking for. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great thing. And from a marketing perspective, it's something different. It's new. It's something that is, hey, I'm going to tell somebody about this, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I expected to get slap together Microsoft Word, few pictures in there. That's what I
Right.
expected. That's what everybody gives. This is different. It's new. It's like, oh, man,
Yeah.
XYZ company came out and they did this like live walkthrough for me, and even had videos in there. It was,
Right.
so
Right. And
builds
and
those
then
right.
can you talk a little bit about, we got a couple of questions about people really interested in the labels,
Yeah,
and then understanding what the difference between labels and tagging is. So
yeah, absolutely. That is a good question. And those are probably people using CompanyCam, I would venture to guess, just
for
because
sure, yeah.
it's fairly sophisticated if you're even knowing the different, like that there would be a difference. So labels are going to be at the project level. So labels are going to be, I use examples of like knocked, bid, contracted,
Yeah.
build, complete, those kind of things. And they're at the project level. So a label is going to tie to a specific project. Great place to put in shingle color, shingle type, those kind of things as well, is at the project level, because then you can filter by that label for, if somebody has a
Hmm.
question on a shingle type or
Yeah.
shingle color, or how you're going to do this dormer or whatever, you can
Yeah,
filter
I
by
see
it.
in the app you have you guys already have a couple labels built in the app, like active, bid, complete, important, in progress, and paid. So it helps you to categorize that specific project, as well as, like you said, like a product, color, things like that.
Absolutely. And those are all as well, those are all customizable. So we give you a few stock ones just to kind of get your brain going, but if you don't
Hmm.
like them, you can change them or add more. And then tagging goes to a specific photo. So I love the example of pre-existing damage just because everybody can relate to, being blamed for something on a job that they probably didn't do. And
Hmm.
you don't want to tag the project pre-existing damage because now you have to sift through all of those photos to find what you're
Right.
talking about. So in that case, you want to tie it to a specific photo and say this particular photo shows damage, make a little note on it. So tagging would be photo specific, labels would be project specific. Both of them are going to be filterable, so you're going to be able to filter by them both.
Yeah. One of the other cool things about tagging specifically is the fact that you guys have even evolved that tool to being able to utilize it for clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah, so that was a kind of a CompanyCam hack. My kids love watching life hacks. That's a hack right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do clock in, clock out. You can see it in this image here in the upper left. Check in. I think it says, or no, clock in, clock out. The company we built CompanyCam for uses that as their time tracking because all the photos are time stamped and dated, and they're GPS located. So there's no way to cheat the system as
Right.
far as clocking in and clocking out. Now, how much work they're getting done in the meantime, we don't have any control over that, but we can
Some
confirm
things
or
you cannot control on the job site,
no,
right?
but we can confirm when they got there or when they took that initial photo and when they left based on that leave photo.
Right. You guys have also made some really cool enhancements to the app in terms of navigating the homepage and being able to rearrange some of the projects and what prioritization you want, including like the starred people and having your groups in the app,
Yeah,
other people that are logged in.
yeah, absolutely. So and those are very new. Like my some of my screenshots don't even have those updated views of the app in there yet. But what's really nice about the way we've changed the feed, and I'm kind of a creature of habit. So at first I was like, I don't know if I love this or not, but I do now that I've been using it. I absolutely love it because yeah, you can put if you want start projects as the very first thing you see in your feed, you can put start projects up there. If you want a certain person's photos first, you can do that. And what's going to be really nice then is as we start adding more and more to our feature set, you can put different features in different places. So, as
Yeah.
checklists, punch lists, flows become a thing, maybe assigned checklist is the number one thing on your list. You want to see if you have any assigned checklists today or punch lists today, and there they are, and you can go through those or whatever it is. So it's just very
Yep.
customizable to fit what you need to see and maybe hide some of the I don't want to say clutter because all the documentation is important, but hide the stuff that's not as important for your particular job.
Sure, sure. I also noticed you guys have that chat with support in there too. So if they ever get stuck somewhere, they can always just quickly chat right within the app as well.
Absolutely. Because I'm on a lot of webinars and I'm fairly active in the Facebook groups, oftentimes people will come to me with support questions on Facebook. So I love that you brought that up, Tiara, because I will save everybody a step. If it's something technical, go go straight to that chat with support button because
Yeah.
that's where I'm going to have to point you anyway. And they're very responsive. They I mean, they're really good. I will also say we
Yeah.
don't have a ton of issues with the app, so that makes being very responsive a lot easier when we don't have a ton of people messaging saying they have problems. It's easy to get to the ones that do. So
Yeah, no, I've referred a ton of contractors to CompanyCam, and all of them definitely give rave reviews. We'll talk a little bit at the end about our partnership and what that looks like from an Atlas perspective, and then what we have coming. But yeah, we always get really great feedback from our contractors on the CompanyCam app. So great job there.
absolutely, I appreciate that. I'm gonna speed through these last couple slides on covering your backside, the CYA portion of CompanyCam. Uh, I've mentioned some of these things already. So pre-existing damage. This is a company that I work with in the Appalachians. And hey, boss, this wasn't us, not the same millworking company. Tagged it pre-existing damage, May 8th, 2019. They put a timestamp on there, just covering your backside, making sure that any damage on the property, you document it, make note of it. Whether or not you tell the homeowner when you find it or not, that's up to you. I mean, yeah, your driveway's got some cracks in it. They probably know that. I don't know if you need to tell them or not, but you definitely need a photo and a timestamp on that showing exactly when it was documented that it was damaged. And then I love this one. Safety, safety, safety. Nobody likes to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room, but document as much of your safety practices as you can. I tell people where you're talking, Tiara, about the clock in, clock out. What a great opportunity to take a picture and say, we're having our safety talk in the morning, then a clock in picture. Have your crew sitting on the tailgate, snap a
Hmm.
picture, and I tag that. Then you can see here roofing safety. I don't know if I'd put roofing in there. I didn't make this image. I would just call it, probably tag that safety or maybe safety and then toolbox talk or safety talk. Um, so that way, if OSHA ever comes calling, you at least have some ammo and you can say, hey, here's a bunch of documentation. And we have our guys do a safety meeting every morning. We go over, that they're expected to be wearing harness and be tied off. All these different things going to get you out of the violation. Probably not. Does it give you a chance? It gives you at least a fighter's chance. And so document that stuff. Finally, and then we'll answer any other questions. If you're doing insurance work, I promise you, you're going to make more money using CompanyCam, whether it's from a supplementing standpoint or just an efficiency time standpoint. It's going to make it so much easier to communicate with the adjuster. If you're using a third-party supplementing company, public adjuster, attorney, that process is going to be so much more efficient that CompanyCam is going to be a huge ROI for you. So that's the high-level summary. And I didn't, explicitly say don't compete on price, but this whole thing was about communication and building trust and documentation and education. Nowhere did I say you need to be the cheapest guy out there. So don't worry about competing on price. Worry about making the experience the best you can for the homeowner. Always be educating and communicating. Document absolutely everything that you're doing, conversations, inspections, everything needs documented. And obviously use CompanyCam and other technology to increase your efficiency. So that is my quick little spiel.
Love it.
Atlas has an awesome deal, Tiara, 50% off your first 2 months
Yeah.
after you get a 14-day free pro trial. So our pro trial includes absolutely everything in the app. It's unlimited users, photos, everything. We give you full reign of the app, 14 days. After that, we would give you 50% off the next 2 months and then 10% off forever. And you guys are grandfathered in on that 10% off forever. It's a rare day where we were talk about giving the 10% off forever. We'll give 50% off for a couple months if we have to, but we don't give the 10% off forever very often. So great deal with Atlas. Take advantage of that if you're not already using CompanyCam. CompanyCam.com/Atlas. There's all my contact information. I know you've got a couple things to tease up, Tiara, and then if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer those.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll just present my
You want me to stop
screen
sharing?
here. Yeah.
See if I can figure out how to stop sharing. I see your screen on mine at least.
Well, I think we're good then, as long as you can see it.
Yep.
So, guys, as Michael was saying, absolutely jump into your sales rep account right here under measuring and estimating tools. We have that CompanyCam button, and it'll take you right to the landing page where you can sign up to get a 14-day trial on the Pro account, and then 50% off for the first 2 months and 10% off forever. So I know that is as we call it, legacy promo, and we just really appreciate all the and the love that CompanyCam's always given us. And for you guys, our contractors, to pass along, the account isn't really expensive to sign up for, but the fact that they're giving you the additional discounts and then the opportunity to take advantage of that 10% off forever, sign up your team, sign up all of your supervisors to make sure you guys have the documentation on lock for all of your job sites moving forward. And then also Atlas is super excited because as we've evolved our partnership, we are launching a brand new testimonial tool resource within our AtlasPro contractor portal, and it's powered by CompanyCam. So what that means is that you can import all of your photos into the Atlas portal and then utilize those photos to actually request and build custom testimonials for that you can present from each job. So earlier, Michael talked about before and after photos and how important those are, being able to utilize the CompanyCam tool in that regard for taking and capturing not just the job site process, but also utilizing it as a marketing tool. And so with this new testimonial tool, we're taking that an extra step where you can actually manage those photos right from your portal with one simple click. And so that will be another tool that'll be available really soon. So look for more emails and updates on that because we're really excited to be partnering with CompanyCam to roll that out for you all to use. So that is what I wanted to just show you guys, and super excited about all the things that Gogan has coming up around CompanyCam. If you have not checked out the Talk About It, they are so fun. Really great information as well on there that speaks directly to you in your business and things you should be thinking and doing right now. So don't forget to get signed up if you for your CompanyCam account if you have not, and then check out the Talk About It with Michael Gogan on Facebook, and I know they're on your Instagram page as well. And is it on YouTube as well, Gogan?
Yeah, it definitely will be. I don't know how long we wait until we upload those to YouTube. We don't go live to YouTube, but we definitely do put those up on YouTube. They're on our website as well. I'm going to guess they're on CompanyCam.com/webinars.
Awesome. So perfect. Well, thank you so much for the time today. I hope you have a great time celebrating your son. And until we talk soon, guys, keep living the asphalt life. Thanks, Gogan.